Hold on. I thought I had some Left 4 Dead music. But I guess not. Crazy says, howdy my brother. Hello there. Hi, hi. We're just getting some tunes going. Some tunes. Left 4 Dead doesn't exactly have a bunch of like generic calm songs. They're all like upbeat, which is kind of weird for Left 4 Dead for a zombie game. Main menu. The main menu theme's kind of laid back, I guess. Sure, we'll have this on loop. If you're mad that we're having this one song on loop, don't be. There's no other songs for Left 4 Dead. Tracy says it's been a while since Left 4 Dead. Ah, yes. Well, that's good, because in today's... Okay, we get it. Can we turn you down a bit? Thank you. Yeah, that works. So, today's stream is going to be based on my little map formula that I use to make Left 4 Dead maps. And I say this because I thought it would be interesting and talk about it with all you guys, because Left 4 Dead maps, in my opinion, are definitely easier to construct than something like a Team Fortress 2 map. But, that's probably just my bias showing. Or it's literally easier. But, some of the stuff doesn't work with TF2. Let me just say that right now, okay? Some of the stuff doesn't fucking work with TF2, man. Left 4 Dead just kind of works. Anyway, obviously Left 4 Dead has like the director, and I hate that so much, but it's fine, I guess. Anyway, first we gotta make a box. All right. So let's say that this is our safe room. So our starting safe room. I don't think there's a text in here. Damn, we're not. Oh, there is. I don't know how to use it. Should we just go to Photoshop? Is this something that we just do? Jump to Photoshop. I don't know. I'll try this out though. Hold on. It doesn't want to change. Alright. Once we delete that, and we say safe room start. Save. Oh. Alright, well, fine with me. Are you not gonna stretch out for me? No? Alright. Safe room start. Oh, that's pretty tiny. Can we increase the size of that? Not, no? Are we just kind of stuck with this now? Alright, fine. And we got our safe room. We'll have a big S here. Alright. We'll have a big S. And we'll make it like golden or something. Safe room 1. Alright. Crazy says that's what she said. So, you can play like as many Left 4 Dead maps as you want, but this is kind of what I've noticed in Left 4 Dead maps, and so it's kind of what I've been mimicking in the maps I make for Left 4 Dead. So, you have your safe room, right? In the safe room will point in the direction that you need to go in. Fuck off, alright? We don't... Assistance from Microsoft Edge. Got it. Go away. Safe room will point in the general direction that you need to go in. Now, obviously, this doesn't say about every map, because one of my maps in particular that I really like goes like that. And the path the survivors go down off of... We'll make the survivor light blue. Survivors... the survivor... What? Can I not? What? Oh. Survivors, inside map, one of my very first maps for Left 4 Dead that's actually fucking playable. Take a turn like that. They come out, and then they take a right turn and another right turn. And then there's like rooms over here that they can kind of go in, but that's my first map that I made. But generally speaking, it seems a lot safer if all the survivors have to do is do a straight line. And I say that because it kind of shows them the general area that you need to go in. Now, let's say that for some reason you had a turn, like I just mentioned. Like, you had this turn here, but there was a wall here. This was another entrance to a building. You had a road here. Another entrance to a building. And it just kind of threw players in, right? Maybe it kind of looks like that, and the players are supposed to go that way. But there's nothing that tells them that. So players might walk out here, right? And they're like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm going to go into here. And I'm going to find supplies in here. And I'm going to walk up the entirety of this building all over the place. Then come out and decide to go this way. Where now I'm dilly-dallying over here for whatever supplies you end up putting out here. And oh, look, I've come out now. And now I'm going to go down this road. Well, in that case, they've completely ignored where the safe area is. And you can't exactly like have an arrow right here pointing towards that area, because that would be dumb. But why would a safe room be pointing to another safe room that close to each other, right? So you kind of have to think about it a little bit. So let's say you had a fence here, like a little fence right here, like this. That did not work at all. Little fence. And that fence, infected could run over it. So we got our little infected buddies over here. They can maybe like spawn over here or over here out of sight. And they can climb the fence. And they can get over here pretty quickly. And the survivors, they turn, they see this fence. They're like, oh, okay, well, we're not supposed to go there then, because there's a fence there. So then they go up into this building, and they're like, oh, I'll find resources or something. And then they come out here, and at this point, there's definitely a horde coming after them. They're being swarmed, and the infected are coming all different ways, jumping off of buildings to try getting out of them. And they fight their way over here, basically running away from the horde, and they're not being little bitches and hiding in the safe room. That is something you have to worry about, is that if they try hiding in the safe room, then they can just kind of stay there forever. So do be careful with doing that type of stuff. It gets kind of annoying, definitely in PvP, when they just kind of camp out in here. I know the spitter doesn't solve it. Trust me. So let's say they ran over here, right? And they're being chased by whatever infected are coming over here. and they just sort of stay over here and they run, they book it. They're trying to run, and in the meantime they're killing all the infected. Right? That's in my opinion, a smarter way to have a open area from the start. But usually, in my opinion, you either have a open area that seems open but isn't really, like this. So you have like a fence here, and let's say the wall back here ended like there and there was nothing else in here. It was just like some convenience store or something. In which case you kind of force them to go down this path, right? That way they don't trail off and do something stupid. But yeah, so either you start off in an already enclosed area, or with a long tunnel like design. And by long tunnel like design, I'll show you right here. Let's say that we had a... Are you not going to get rid of that? No, we can't. Okay, fine. I'll just have to get rid of it like manually. Whoever the fuck the eraser tool is, there it is. Alright, so let's say that you took this here and you clicked and you dragged. And this was like your long tunnel from the beginning, right? And it kind of showed you where you needed to go. And you had shops in here. So that's a shop, like right here. That's a shop. That's another shop. And that's a shop. And each of these places are like little convenience stores, right? Or maybe one of them is much bigger. So let's say this is a little convenience store. And this is like a big store. Alright. Now, what the survivors are going to do is that the second they spawn in, all four of them, they're going to look up here, look out the door, and they're going to like, oh, okay, well then there's this big hallway we get to go down. And that kind of shows us the general direction that we should be going in. And then we can go into these little stores here to find items and stuff. Right? Or at least that is the idea of it, is that they they have the option to either just like book it. They can just go straight through, and maybe you have like a lot of health pack spawns over here. And so they completely missed out on the health pack party that was right here, or the defibrillators that were in this building. And then you have, I don't know, like just absolute Molotov like heaven over here or something. But they don't know that. They don't know anything about that because they have decided that they're gonna screw going into the buildings, and they're just going. They're going for it. They're not gonna dilly-dally. And that is what they choose to do. And in my opinion, that is the level design that I try to encourage, if that makes sense. You generally have one path that takes you from point A to point B. And let's say point B was right here, and it was another safe room, and it was slightly tilted because it's like on a beach or something. So that's the end, right? Safe room 2? That's the end? Can we all agree on that? So they get out here, right? And they're like, oh, well, then where am I going to go? Because they have all this junk here, basically. That's all admit it. It's just junk. So they have these rooms, they have these buildings, and this is the design philosophy that I love to do in my maps. Is I will have, no matter how convoluted this one path gets, or how twist and turny it is, it's generally one path from point A to point B. And that one path can go inside of a building, like let's say this was blocked off or something, and there was a little tunnel here that brought you from here to there. Like, it can kind of be all over the place. That makes it doesn't matter, because the one path is still there for the survivors, as you can see. There they go. They have made it inside of the area. Now, this one path, like I said, can be littered with other buildings, so we can take this tool, do that, take this tool, do that, and now this is like a building on its own. And now let's say the building exits here, and now this is a park, right? This is like a big park, and so the park enters into a road, and this is a road, and the road ends at the safe house too. So the ending safe house right here. So we have a big building here, and we can start making it a little bit more convoluted, but as you can see, it's just one straight path. And along this straight path, let's say there's like park benches over here, and they give you like good items or something. Or there is a little shop here. So this is a shop. Like within, let's say like this is a mall or something. We've all seen like those tiny little malls. And this is the parking lot to the mall right here. Right there. So now we have the parking lot to the mall. We have like a little mall, a little building, and I will show you that I would be putting the bulk of the resources inside of these little side buildings. I would try to keep the main path a bit dry, unless, I don't know, let's say there's like a group of picnics right here or something. Then I'll like, okay, there's like some ammo here or something. But generally speaking, I like trying to make the path a fast option, but go away. But, alright, there are other tools to kind of maneuver around, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that does. To be 100% honest, I don't even know if that makes any sense, but I'm not even sure that's a good formula or not. But that's just kind of what I found works for me, and that's kind of what I do to make my maps. Now, obviously, this is tiny. let's all admit it here. Left 4 Dead maps are kind of huge. Like, they're big. They're definitely big, and saying that. Okay, go away. Skip. There we go. Thank you. Left 4 Dead maps are big. And this is maybe like... this would probably be like half of a map. If it's like the very beginning, because the beginning kind of takes... the beginning portions of maps are usually a lot quicker. And then if it was going to be like a middle of a campaign, then I would say this might be like a fourth of it. And with the longer stuff, please remember, please remember to put safe lockers. Well, not safe lockers, but it's little safe cabinets so people can come back. Because let's say the infected kills Coach right here. They got a really good pen on Coach, and the spitters were just perfect, and somehow they got 2 of them. And Coach was no more. Coach died there. He could not come back. They don't know about the defibrillators in these rooms, so they keep on going. And all of a sudden, Nick's gone. Nick died here. A tank spawned here. Nick got fucked up. They didn't know what was going to happen. And then they come over here, and then both Nick and Coach are in this door, right? They're inside of here now. And they're like, oh, well, I'll come save you. And they come save him, and they all go back to the main path. The longer your map is, try to make sure you have that. And try to make sure these aren't, like, super close. Because, in my opinion, how I end up doing things is that resources are a bit away from the main trail. So they're in like the stores. And then saving or rescuing our teammate would be further away. So if this would probably be a resource stack instead of actually a like safe area, and then maybe this right here was that right here, and that's where they could save their teammates, because you can see that's pretty far away from the main trail. They kind of have to go out of their way to do it, but if they did do it, they would they'd get their teammates back, and the rest of the track might be easier because of that. Oh no, what did I call this thing? Terror? Map of Terror, yes. Mark of Terror, okay. So this is the first map I have ever made for Left 4 Dead. Not gonna lie, it's kind of sketch. But kinda, I mean like a lot. It's very sketch. But hold on, I'm trying to get the link of this. There we go. While this loads, because of course it takes 10 years to load. Alright, and now I'm just going to post it in the Discord because I forgot to do that, and it's rather important to do that. Viewer. Alright, there we go. So, now, they took all the weapons. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, besides how dumb this map is and there being no lighting, I'm going to try showing it off. Okay, good. It's on normal difficulty. I might vote it for easy. Just so that we can, Mario says, hello! Hello there! Hi! I'm just trying to show off my formula for making Left 4 Dead maps. So, as you can see, directly off the bat, right out of the spawn for the survivors, we have a little room right here. This is the first one I ever made, so please give me some slack. I know this is exactly what I told you not to do, but in my opinion, this is fine because you come out and you're like, what's over here? Oh, there's nothing over there. What's in here? There's nothing over there except for that infected. And then we come over here, right? And we're like, oh, what's over here? Oh, there doesn't seem to be much over here. Let's jump over here. And can we go outside? Can we try getting out? No, we cannot. Crouch jumps do not work. Mario says, cool. Thank you. Thank you. And right off the bat, we immediately look down this giant tunnel, right? And from this giant tunnel, we have two options. We can go down here. Please don't try doing this. You're not gonna like it. Trust me. It's not gonna go well for you. It's fucking easy mode. You all died to, like, bitch slaps. Come on, go away. I mean it. Fine, I guess I have to arm myself. But, as we can see here, this has become, like, the path that we've taken, right? This is the path that we've took. And right here, if we go into here, this is the other path that we missed out on. And if we actually went in here, as you can see, we could have gotten some good loot. We could have gotten a Molotov. And that's it, because the director decided to say, fuck this argument. But we could have gotten a Molotov out of that. Molotov that early, it's fucking, that's powerful. That's good. And then right off the bat, we go down this long hallway, which automatically which automatically shows us where we have to go, right? This long hallway. We can see where we have to go right in there. And we also have a bathroom. Like I said, there's no lighting, so all this stuff is going to be a bit weird. If I'm corrected, there's like a melee weapon in here. There is. Thank you. Okay. Alright. Spy says, Why are you what? I don't know. But we can go in here, right? We can kill the AI boomer. We can see the AI tank that spawned. And now we're like, oh, well, we can do a few things. We can just say, fuck the tank, right? And just down our pills and then use the cover around this area to try to get away from the tank. Or what we could have done is we could have backed up into the area that we were already in to get the tank, to try taking out the tank. That's usually what I do, but... It gives you options, alright? So... I think there's something that spawned right there. It's kind of funny, but... Not only can we see a straight line to spawn, right? We already know where we were going from spawn. But... we also had options, which is another good thing to do. Are you another tank, really? Alright. This isn't gonna go well for you. I was about to say, like, this isn't gonna go well for you. Anyway. We have this little area over here, which actually gives us health if we wanted to venture over there. Which, I think I actually might. Okay, it didn't do anything. But that's away from the path. As we can see here, immediately after we're done with... Immediately after we're done with the straight hallway where we knew we were supposed to go, we are immediately pointed out with an arrow to help us go. Mario says, what is the objective? The objective of this map is to get to the end of the safe, to get to the final safe room, which is the design philosophy I'm trying to explain. If you're wondering, yes, this will become a video. I just decided, hey, we'll do it in a stream format, just so that people who like stream formats would be able to use it. Alright, so right off the bat, we come up these stairs, right? And now it's a completely different beast. We had an arrow pointing us up to where we were supposed to go, right? But now we're like, oh, where am I supposed to go? Well, I guess there's a door here. I'll open it. This is still beta. This is this is where it used to be, alright? But it got changed. I think the AI is still a bit bugged on this too, but I'll just do this to kind of clear him out. Mario says, okay, yeah. But, pretty much, besides this safe room just being completely broken because this isn't supposed to be here, and I haven't updated this map in way, way, way too long. We're in here, right? We finally came out here, and we're like, I don't know where to go, and this is a pretty expansive area, so I could start checking out all of these little rooms in here, or I could go down the hallway, and I can look around, and I automatically see this is a reset point, and there's something up there, so my brain's like, I'm gonna go up there. What's my objective? I want to get up there, because that looks like that's where I need to be. Spy says, or you could leave the old safe room as a ruined safe room. I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I put the big hole in the wall.
Second pistol.
Not even gonna lie, that's just pretty neat. The hole in the wall took like 10 minutes. But, we're like, oh, well, we can check out all these rooms, and we're just gonna leave her. She looks like she's had a bad time. And we can, like, check out all the rooms, but hey, oh, look. Looky there, we found a way up, right? But what if we don't want to? Well, this is a choice we can make. We're like, oh, well, I like this. I'm going to take this pipe bomb bomb's mine, and I'm going to throw it up there. And I think it's just going to... Oh, man. When you just decide, ah, yes, infected, I'm going to look at you. But now we're like, okay, we're up here, right? This was our objective, and the level design tried to tell us that was our objective. So now we're like, huh, so where do we need to go? Well, this seems pretty linear, so I'm gonna follow this. And we're gonna be alone for a little bit because the bots won't travel through that. But we're like, okay, well, now we're here. We're finally at the reset point that we were originally looking at. And it's pretty neat. So then we can, we go down here, and there's no indicator of where the room is, so we have to kind of look around a little bit. You could end me pretty quickly. We gotta cut that out. We're like, oh, look at that. They perished. Oh well. And we can go over here. I think there was an infected, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of infected right here. Usually it doesn't spawn any infected in this area. And you're like, oh, well, there's this giant, like, thing here pointing us directly where it is. So I'm going to jump down here. Hope my team comes down here. I know the AI can be a bit wonky with that. Give me the knife. Did the witch spawn here? No. That means the witch spawned in the tunnel. But then we're like, okay. We know the safe room. We know the safe room is down that hallway. So now... So we know it's down this hallway, right? And we go down the hallway. And we're like, where could it be? Well, I hear a witch.
Reloading.
Okay, no, we get in the safe room. Bots. But then we're like, hey, guys, we're in the safe room, right? And we close the door.
Stay away from
And there we go. We've made it, and that is like my design philosophy. So I'm gonna go back to Krita here. So as you can see how I tried to implement my design philosophy in my first map I've ever made, right? So you got the whole shenanigan of you only got one path that you can technically take. One path. And now my map decided to go a bit AWOL and have you spawn inside of one of the little like buildings off to the side. So there's that. So we got one path that we take. And we take the path and we're like, hey, we made it. We didn't kill anyone, so we made it, and we just go straight to this area. But as I showed off, if we went into the areas around it, like over here, we would have gotten a Molotov. And if we went over here, we would have got some medkits. And if we went over here, we would have got so on and so forth. And so that's sort of the design philosophy that I try to have inside of my Spices the fuck is the other way. Just it literally is the same area. Oh, this I think this is where I started messing around with lighting. No, I really don't want to mess with the infected on this map. They can be a fucking bitch sometimes, I swear. But let's give Coach this.
You're a mess.
Okay, never mind.
Still.
But as we can see, immediately out of spawn, we're like, oh, what's this? And we see a bunch of buildings over there. And we're like, oh, okay. Also, we see light, and people just kind of follow the light. Spices, that's too dark. I know, I was messing around with lighting, and I never got to finish the lighting.
I'm a reload.
They also shouldn't be spawning up there. I don't know why they are. Anyway, we're like, oh, well, we were supposed to go this way because of the buildings, and that's what got our attention. Are you over here? I don't even care. I will take my time and attention away from doing this smartly just so I can kill you. Get back here. You can't hide from me forever, you know. I know this map. I've literally built it. Oh, now you're coming back.
Don't shoot that car.
Alright. back to this. Anyway, we made it here. And we're like, oh, the light points here. So that must mean something. And that's where we came from. But if we went up here, which if we fell from this height, by the way, it would kill us. We have a chainsaw here. If we, like, really badly wanted this chainsaw for some reason. Also, there's a boomer over there. But as you can see, it's out of the main path, and it gives you a pretty strong weapon. Spices, not worth the risk. Yeah, well. Alright, what's wrong with you? Are you having a bad day? Anyway, now we come in here, I'm not even gonna lie, that car door is... Not car door, that car alarm is just... Is that a witch? No, it wasn't. Weird. That car alarm is just there because I wanted to mess around with car alarm, see if it worked. So now we're like, okay, well, we can't go this way, so we have to go around. And so we go around. Hi.
Look out!
He gave a good few seconds of nothing. Anyway, Spice's chainsaw sucks compared to normal melee. Yeah, fair enough. But now we're like, okay, well, the light yet again shows us exactly where we need to go.
Which? Reloading. Charger. Charger. Reloading.
I thought I got him pretty much. But the lighting is showing us where we need to go. And so that's what tells us, hey, we need to go in here. Now, a lot of this is lit up, but what's the first... Can we stop staring at the witch? Please. Fucking hell. Alright, but first thing we see
Reloading.
when we enter this building, right? Long hallway. Really long hallway. And so that tells us, hey, this is probably where we should be going. Spice's huge right wall, yeah. But then it's like, what if we went in here? Oh, look, we would have gotten some pills, and would have gotten a Molotov, and so on and so forth. We would have gotten all these... Go away. Would have gotten all of these resources. Oh, I'll actually take that.
Here.
But, we would have gotten all those resources if we went down there, but we're not. We're just going to go the straight path, right? And there's more resources. Look at that. More resources. Off the beaten trail, by the way. They're not... the game's not forcing you to go down there. You have to go down there willingly. Spy says, no, I said huge right wall. Hug right wall, not huge right wall. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. But we're like, okay, well, there's some stairs here and a broken wall texture for some reason. But, like, well, we should probably go up here. See? And we're like, okay, this is clearly unfinished. The guy who made this is an awful creator. But, we're like, okay, this is a giant hallway. And that's a fucking tank. We're gonna use the adrenaline. We're gonna die. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna perish. It's too hard. If we all go down here, they will stop spawning. Jeez. But,
Alright, now I'm back.
that was just... I don't even... That wasn't even game design right there. I'm kind of stunned that the director, like, really fucked me up that badly. Spices... No, he's not awful. Creator just lazy. That is true. Anyway, we go down this hallway. We're like, also they're spawning more.
Hey, I'm reloading.
This is a custom, like, wave sort of feel, if that makes any sense. Like, it's a custom horde event, and so it all determines how long you stayed in that one area. But anyway, we get to here, and we're like, oh, well, this is neat. I can now I can go down here, or I could start, like, turning around, like, oh, what's in here? There's nothing in here. We just got fucked, actually. What's in here? Looks like there's a shotgun. I'll take the shotgun. Shotgun has no ammo. I'll take this. And so on and so forth. It's like, hey, do I want to go in there? No. Okay, how about there? No. There? No. Well, I guess I'll go into the one room that isn't on the sides. And now I start exploring this room. It's like, what's in here, right? Until we see a hole in the ground, which usually holes in the ground, unless you've already been to that area, either mean... Uh-oh. They either mean that you're gonna die, or there's a safe room. And so there we go. We found a safe room, right? I did my little design philosophy again. Also, we did, like, nothing that entire game. We basically just sat and talked about it for a while, but... Yeah, anyway, we got this map, and it's like, hey, that's good and all. We did it. I don't think this is even finished. No, this is barely even started. So much so that they're clipping.
That's what I'm talking about.
Anyway. So I says, but it's not obvious that the hole is there. You would look and be confused where you go. Yeah, it's true. To be fair, I never actually got to finishing that map, so if I did finish the map, I would probably add in a few arrows to help players, but yeah, anyway, it's the same sort of design philosophy that I am talking about right here. We have safe room start. We go down an area. Well, in that case, we don't go down an area. We immediately see into a giant area with a bunch of buildings. And that's like, oh, we should probably go there. And so on and so forth. But that's sort of how I design Left 4 Dead maps, and it kind of makes sense in a way, and kind of doesn't, because Left 4 Dead's very linear, like super linear. But one thing you also have to think about is zombie spawns. The director does not like spawning infected out in the open. I know it does it. Everyone knows it. Everyone can see the director cheating and then spawning infected out in the middle of the open. Like, you're here or something, and they just spawn like a horde right here because the director thinks that you're looking away. And so you're like, oh, well, okay. That just happened. But, a general rule of thumb is that the director does not like spawning infected in the sightline of players. And so, let's say there's a horde that happens right here, right? The horde will be coming out of this room, this area, and maybe this one too. But that one's stretching it a bit. But they'll start spawning there because it's like, hey, this is out of your player's sight. Now, let's say the players are being shitheads with the director, right? And they are like spreading themselves out. They have a player here. They have a player here. They have, well, actually, they have a player here. They have a player here. And they have a player all the way back here, right? They're being, they really don't like the director, and they just want no infected the entire game. Then the director will say, okay, where can't they see? They cannot see here, all right? They can't see back here, okay, all right. And I know they can barely, like, they can't see here either, but I'm trying to have a demonstration. They can't see, like, here. And they can't see here or here. And so it's like, alright, we're gonna spawn infected there, and we're gonna see how it goes. So that's sort of how the director does not like spawning stuff. So, like in player's sightline is what I'm trying to say. So a beneficial thing would be maybe, let's say you built a wall in the way of right here, okay? You have a nice big wall. It's right here. It blocks this side from that side. And it basically forces the survivors to go from here to here. Well, now all of a sudden, like, obviously they still have the massive sight lines that they do, but if all the survivors are like up here or something, then it's like, oh, okay, well then we can spawn infected here. Bunch of infected there. And then if we just continued, then infected could be spawning here and there and all over the place. Or if you wanted it to feel like expansive, like it was an actual building, what you could do is this. You could have a wall be a fence. I know, crazy, right? So you have a fence. And what this fence does is that it leads to a big room. Like big room. And this room's only job is spawning infected. Because now, all of a sudden, same scenario as before, right? The director's like, oh, good, I can spawn infected here and here. And so they start flooding over this fence. And what if there was like a boarded up door here that the players couldn't open, but the infected could? Like, break it down. Then all of a sudden you got infected spawning over here, and they can start flooding in, and then we have infected obviously spawning like in this general area, but let's say there was a fence right here, so the infected could spawn over here. And so you kind of have to think about stuff like that. Like, you cannot like really handpick where you're spawning infected all that much. I'm gonna be honest here, you kind of can't. I mean, like, you sort of can, but at the same time, not really. The director does not like you doing it. And so because of that, you kind of have to make infected spawn locations based off of areas that you would think would be like an infected spawn. So like this right here, it's like this room's only here to spawn infected, and that's it. And that's all it's there for. And so when a horde spawns right here or something, the infected are going to start spilling out of here. And obviously everywhere else, but they are also going to be spilling out of here now, which adds in another layer of spices. Where's Minecraft music? Oh, that's true. I had Left 4 Dead music going, but I stopped it when I launched Left 4 Dead because I was like, hey, we don't need this music. We're just going to launch Left 4 Dead. And so that's sort of how that goes. Now, let's say you wanted to make a Crescendo event. I hate these things. I hate them so goddamn much. That's the reason why I made my own in my map, because I hate Crescendo events in the director. I hate it so much. Anyway, if you're going to make a Crescendo event here, then it might be welcome to do little mini walls. So like that. So the infected could spawn behind it. Maybe like that. Maybe like that. So on and so forth. So now you still have the path that they go down, right? Right down here. Right? But you also have a holdout location. Spy says, oh, what event? Lad, what's the event? Oh, Crescendo event is... How do I explain this? It's when a bunch of zombies are coming at you at once. And it's not a horde, because hordes are different. Crescendo events usually happen towards the end of campaigns. But they can also happen in the middle. So, you know, in, what is it? It's the map with all the sugarcane. Fuck, I'm forgetting. Anyway, in that map, you have to wait for an elevator. Hard rain, that's what it's called. Maybe, hypothetically speaking. I want to call it hard rain. But, you have to wait for an elevator, right? And so the second you press that button for the elevator, a Crescendo event happens. And a Crescendo event spawns tons of infected. We're talking tons of infected. And I'm pretty sure it also ups the spawn of special infected, but I'm not too sure on that. And so that's a Crescendo event. It is a planned horde, basically. And usually with planned hordes, you have defenses. So you have a defensive thing here. Spy says, you mean Witch Haven? Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, almost in every single like Crescendo event, there is a spot marked by the developers that is supposed to help the AI survivor bots know where to stand during the Crescendo event, so that they have the best chance of survival during it. And these are basically just called bases. And these little bases are usually stocked with the ammo that you'll need for the Crescendo event, maybe new weapons, there might be some health packs, rarely there will also be a turret, but that's just kind of how that is. And so because of that, That's sort of what those are. If you want to have a good one in your head, at the end of the very first campaign in Left 4 Dead 2, when you're trying to refuel Gibby Jib's Jr. stock car, right? Where all the tools and your weapons are, you know, like on the little store shelf that they give you, that would be a base. That is a good spot to hold out. You have tons of equipment. You have like tons and tons of resources that you can use. Not only that, but you also have the sight lines of basically the entire mall sitting there. So nothing can really sneak up on you in that spot. And the only thing that can really like start messing you up is some special infected PvP players, if they know what they're doing. So that's what it's sort of like. So I says, so like waiting for a truck to lower level. Yeah, exactly. It's like you wait for something, or it's just in general. Usually at the end of every campaign, there's a big Crescendo Event, and usually it's not waiting for a truck. It's, I'll use the same map as before. You have to refuel Gimme Jade's stock car, which is a big Crescendo Event, but it's not like a normal Crescendo Event because you can't just like stay in one spot. I kind of like that Crescendo Event just because it tells you, hey, you gotta get going. You can't just sort of camp it out. You gotta get moving. But that's what a Crescendo Event is. So this will be like a Crescendo Event area, and you have your little thing, your little base here. And so this could probably be a map. And I say probably because it's probably also horrible. But this could be a map in theory, because that it uses the exact same formula. Now, obviously, like I stated before, this is way, 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 way too small for a full map. Spy says, no, very last map on bridge, you don't wait, you just run. That is true, you run, but that's technically also a Crescendo Event. But, like I said, this map is too small. If we were to actually make this a map, you would continue it. So we'd say, hey, there's buildings all over the place. Let's say this is in like a really, really like heavily populated city or something. So we got buildings all over the place. Maybe 2 competing stores right next to each other. There's another building. And let's say it loops back on itself as a bit of irony. So this is where it ends, right? That's where it ends. That's S2. Oh, yeah, S2. And so we want to get there. But in order to get there, let's say that there's this big building that we have to get through. And this is that big building. And let's say you exit this big building here, and there's a little hallway, and this is fenced off. So, this big building, you enter here. And it's a big building, so we have to make it big. And so, let's say it's like a very big grocery store or something. So in grocery stores, you usually have aisles of food, but also checkout. So this is checkout, okay? Right here. That would be checkout. That would be checkout. That would be checkout. That would be checkout. And then we have our aisles of food. And then at the back, you usually have area where they stock the food. And then we have our little exit. Players don't fucking care how you make it dress up. You can make it look as good or bad as you possibly can. They're just going to be running through it. But suddenly, we have this building, and this building that you can stock items in. Plus, the more buildings that you have, the more spots the infected can spawn. And also, this is sort of a double-edged sword, the more spots that a witch and or tank can spawn. Now, usually, as a rule, another one, the game will only spawn witches and tanks on the path of the survivor. So, they will only spawn witches and tanks on this blue path that does not travel off of the beaten path. And so because of that, it's going to be a bit iffy. You're going to have like a tank spawning here and a witch spawning like fucking right here sometimes. But Spices, did I tell you that time that me and Brother Keith went zombie hunting? I'm pretty sure you did. But you're gonna have weird tank and witch spawns. But usually, and I say this usually, just don't care about it. Like, unless you have a area like I want a tank spawning here, then you have to do it manually, or that's at least what I did. But just don't worry about where the tank and witch spawns, because the witch, like, let's say the tank spawns in here, right? In this building, and let's say there's like a door right there. Well, what's going to happen is that the survivors are going to get to this point, right? And the tank is going to be in here, and he's going to bust through here, slamming the door down, and start attacking the nearest survivor that's standing right here, right? And that can be like a big havoc, because they're already in danger. They're being bitch slapped into this building while their team is somewhere off over here. So it can kind of be nice to have more areas for them to spawn, but then at the same time, you don't want the fucking witch spawning in this corner, right? Like, it's not at all where you want the witch to be. Spy says, the tank spawn I hate the most is when you just spawn in the first map and turn a corner to see the tank spawn. Yes, the only map in the entire game that has no tank or witches spawning on the very first level is the first map in Dead Center. That's the only one. In every other one, they can spawn in. Also, I would just like to say that tank and witches spawns happen more frequently the faster you're going through the course. So, like I said, this is a pretty small map, right? So witches and tanks are going to spawn like really close. Like up here. Or maybe one spawns back here or something. Like, they're going to be like really fast to spawn depending on the map size. And so you kind of have to think about that in the sense of, well, do I really want them to do this or no? But if they take slower, then obviously they're going to take slower to spawn in. But if we had a much bigger map, just don't worry about it. The survivors are never going to be able to actually go that fast in a bigger map unless they're, well, like, exploiting. And so because of that, just don't worry about it. Like, the bigger the map is, the higher the chances that when the tank spawns, your team, like the players, are kind of ready for it. Or when the witch spawns, they're kind of ready for it. Like, if it was like, end here, this is safe room 2, you're gonna have both like the tank and the witch right here, ready to absolutely destroy any survivors inside of safe room 1. But let's say that safe room 2 was all the way over here, like right here, and they had to go all the way up here, and they got like sidetracked, and so decided, oh, we're going all the way up here now, and we have to go around the entire map just to get to the safe room, right? Well, in which case, it's probably not gonna spawn them right at the front door. It might spawn like one here and one here, right? It's gonna be a lot more spread out and feel a lot more balanced. I don't know. Spy says tank would be OP in fire part of Dead Center. Yeah. That's true. Dead Center is like the only place in the entire game where you can, well, not the entire game, since there's insta-kill spots, but I guess this isn't an insta-kill spot. But if you're a smoker and you're on PvP, The last map of Dead Center, when all the survivors are like feeling cocky and they're trying to run to the exit, like trying to run to the safe room, basically. You can catch one, and I don't know if it's like 2 triggers that overlap, but you can like take someone from full health to completely dead within the matter of 10 seconds in that fire, and you just don't take any damage. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little busted. But it's just kind of how it was made. But yeah, I would say that I've kind of gone over my design philosophy for this whole thing. Oh, if you're trying to make a game, well, a map for like survival or something, generally it's best to just like do this. Get rid of everything else except for the little Crescendo Event area, because the Crescendo Event was, first off, it's made with a base in it, right? So it already has a area that is supposed to be defendable, but it also has the more open areas generally. Like, as you can see here, in fact, it can spawn here, 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 here. They can spawn all over the place, right? But this is like a park, so it's probably like huge. It's much bigger than this, at least. It's like that big or something. But it gives you a lot of room to kind of run around in. Maybe there's like a shack here or something, and there's like something you can go on top of the shack, like some board. And the shack is a good defensible area too, but it's super, super open to any special infected. So like a hunter can like easily jump up, and the smoker can easily get you. But that's like the risk that you take, so usually that's how you make a survival map work, in my opinion. I don't make survival maps. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't make survival maps, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass here, but that's kind of what I think survival maps are like. So, that's sort of been my my formula that I use to make Left 4 Dead maps. I'm going to be making some more Left 4 Dead maps in the future, just because, well, I'm not making TF2 maps anymore, and man, does it feel good I don't be making any more maps for that game. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've just noticed with my my design philosophy. Now, if any of you guys have any questions on it, I guess I'll be answering that now. If you have any questions, I will be answering. Spy says, yeah, fuck you, TF2. Yeah, indeed. I'll write it. Big text. Questions! Alright, got any? If you don't, it's fine, but this is just sort of what I've figured. Oh, if you're wondering, yes, this stream will be unlisted like the majority of my other streams. The only one that won't be unlisted is very simply the TF2 one, my final TF2 stream. It's the only one that won't be unlisted. So, yeah. Spy says, theoretically, if there was a huge rat, would you pet it and give it all your food? All your food, yes. Let's say there's a huge rodent, right? Big. That just looks like a plague doctor mask. Fuck. Okay. All right, guys, hold on. Let's say there's a big rat, right? We get the head. We get the little. That looks like a bird. There we go. Big rat. Big fat. Big huge. Big rat. Got little feet here. And he was looking for food. I would definitely give him all my food. All my little pizzas and stuff. Little pizza. I'll give him all of it. All of the food. Spices, that's sheep. Alright. Looks too sheep-like, I guess. Fair enough. If there's no questions about the mapping, then this is where it ends. If you liked it, go ahead and like and subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, and remember, see ya.